Like anyone who goes through these injuries, you know, you have to be really resilient and be made of really strong stuff to get through that, because it's a long process, it's a lonely process, and those dark days, to pull yourself out of that, if you can get through that, in my opinion, you can get through anything. So when you place yourself back in a team environment, you're going to be a much better version of yourself than you were before, and hopefully that's the case. I knew straight away. You know, there's plenty of times where I'll go down and, you know, I'm straight back up again. I'm not one to sort of stay down, but I knew this one was different. I felt something go straight away, and, you know, I'm banging on the ground because I knew what had happened, and I think I was angry, I was frustrated, but genuinely I was heartbroken too. And I think the physios and the medical staff have ran on, and I've just said, I'm not even going to try and get up here, guys. I need to get off. This isn't good. And, you know, I think you could see in my face that I was distraught, I was heartbroken, and I was. And, you know, we went inside, and yeah, I just knew the reality of the situation, and I knew that my tournament was over. I knew this was a serious injury, and obviously that was the case. Yeah, I think obviously I've had so much time to reflect now. Obviously it's still as gutting and frustrating then as it is now. But yeah, you try and look into sort of reasons why you think these things happen. And obviously at the time I just wanted to believe that, you know, it's just the nature of the sport, and it was a freak incident and nothing I could have done could have prevented it. And maybe that is the case, or maybe there was ways I could have prevented it. You know, we'll never know. And I think, you know, with the amount of ACL injuries that are in the game now, you know, it is a problem. And, you know, everyone's kind of searching for answers, and, you know, hopefully we can start to get some of them answers. But yeah, when I was speaking about it, obviously sort of immediately after, it was quite emotional, but it was something I really did kind of want to say my piece on. And I think if I was to do an interview solely on the injury itself, I would probably say the same sort of things. You know, I spoke a lot about how it'll be one of the hardest things that I'll do is go through this rehab, and it has been hard. It's been really testing, and, you know, I'm not done yet. I'm still going. See progress. It's been a massive learning curve for me as well. I've learned so much out about myself, and myself as an athlete, and myself as a person too, because it's really tested me. How's it looking? Is it stiff as?
I mean, yeah.
You know, it's, you know, you look on social media and you see all the highs of the milestones that, you know, I'm achieving 6 weeks, 12 weeks, 3 months. Yeah, that's great. But in between, there's some really dark days. There's some days where you just have no motivation to get up and go into the training ground and be locked away in the gym. You know, that's hard, and that's, I suppose, what you want to speak about and shed light on, and how you can manage that, and, you know, what you learn and what you take away from it. So yeah, it's been really challenging. I would say probably the biggest moment where I was like, finally, was when I started running. Because up until then, I think the first time I ran was my last session before Christmas. So right on the mouth of Christmas. So you think I did the injury in July, that full winter period, felt like I was just locked away in a gym, you know, and I was just spending countless hours. It was long, long days, and obviously it's dark as well. So, you know, you're waking up, it's dark, I'm going home, it's dark, and I've spent all day in a gym, just, you know, doing rehab, and all my conditioning is on a bike, or, you know, things that aren't running around a football pitch. And as a footballer, you're conditioned to to run. So I don't feel like I'm sort of getting any output unless I'm running. So I'm on the bike for an hour at a time and I'm like, yeah, that was hard, but if I went to run, it would be so much harder. So I think I was so frustrated until I could run. And then it was kind of like the chains had kind of broke free a little bit and I kind of felt, right, this is great, I can run again. And then I think it was a case of, right, we need to kind of pull the reins back in a little bit because I just got super excited. You know, I could run and I was like, right, well, when can I have a ball? When can I shoot? That was the next thing. It was like, I've got a ball, I can dribble and I'm passing 5 yards, but when can I strike a ball? And, you know, when can I do this? When can I do that? And, you know, that's when I had to learn how to be patient. You know, I just got so excited and I wanted to do everything all at once. And when I say I started to learn a lot about myself, I learned how to be patient throughout this journey because I knew I had to be. I was in like a blessed situation whereby I actually had a teammate who had also done her ACL. So we had each other and I genuinely don't know if I could have done it without her. And she would probably say the same because yes, we were alone and we were isolated, but we had each other. And whenever I was low, she picked me up. When she was low, I picked her up. And I tried to be so positive. I'm quite a positive person anyway. So even when I was struggling, I kind of had to just try and snap myself out of it and be like, no, come on, Simone, like, just do these 4 sets. You know, you'll be better for it. And it's hard. It does take its toll, and it definitely did take its toll. You know, I think I look back to them days, especially like when it was coming up to the first game of the season. I think up until then, I think I was handling it okay because there had been no games, the season hadn't started. So as far as I was aware, there was no football happening, wasn't missing anything. So I was cracking on with rehab in the gym, spending all day there, you know, it was fine. And then first game of the season comes up and everybody's getting excited about, you know, first game of the season. We were at home, Villa Park, it's on Sky, whatever, loads of stuff going on, and I just felt none of that. So then that's when it started to kind of sink in. I was like, this is going to be such a long year. It's such a weird sort of freak situation because obviously I'd just signed for a new club and I'd not actually met anyone officially. So, you know, day one of me meeting someone was the physio in the surgeon's office, and it's not really how I want to introduce myself. So, yeah, I had so many emotions, you know, running through me. When I did suffer the injury, I felt guilty, so guilty. And it was completely out of my control. You know, I couldn't have done anything to stop it happening, but obviously you're going to feel guilty because, you know, you've just signed and now you're useless for the first season. So to try and manage all of that in my head, you know, was something I was trying to come to terms with in the real immediate, you know, period when I suffered the injury. But the club were great in how they handled it and reassured me a lot, which then kind of allowed me to sort of calm down about the situation and actually focus on the injury and the rehab and coming back. And, you know, they've been brilliant throughout. You know, I've only got good things to say. They've got me into such a good place. I suppose when I look at where I'm at now, and obviously I'm back in full training and I'm in matchday squads, and that's great, but I know I'm still not ready. I'll know when my time's right. I know when I'll feel myself, and I think that'll take time. And I think it's probably something, you know, from everyone on the outside looking in, they're like, oh, she's back, this is brilliant. But I think anyone on the inside will know and respect that it takes a long time to actually feel back to your full self after this. You know, you think it's nearly a year out of playing the game, so it's going to take a long time to get back to any sort of level where you were previously, and that's kind of the process I'm in now. That was the one thing when I did the injury I was so gutted about, was that I just love playing for Northern Ireland so much and I don't want to miss anything, especially like with just recently, you know, where the game is now. It's its most exciting point. I want to be a part of it, every bit of that if I can. But the girls have been great. I mean, I said it from when I did the injury initially, like they were all there immediately and they've been there. every step. You know, they're always checking in on me. And when I say about celebrating them wins, you know, they're some of the first girls to text me and be like, I'm so proud of you, you know, and it just makes me feel great because, you know, I know that they're genuinely there rooting for me, and when they say we can't wait to have you back, I know they mean it. And that carries me through. Can't wait to get back playing for Northern Ireland. You know, it's just such a huge part of my life, and it means so much to me, and I can't wait. You know, I think that'll be a really, really special moment when I can pull that shirt on again.